Okay, we're going to go ahead and we'll open up our session in prayer since Josh Clark told me many years ago. I didn't realize he knew. Better open the meeting in prayer, he told me. He knew I need divine help. So Jerry, Jamie, could you please open our meeting?
Sure. Can you hear me okay?
I can hear you great.
All right. So Lord, we just lift up this morning to you and this meeting. And God, I just pray that you would have everyone on this call that's supposed to be here. Lord, that you would cause everything to go according to your perfect plan. And Lord, we just thank you for this opportunity to be here at this time in this place and be learning all these really cool things. We just ask for your blessing in it, sharpen up our minds and keep our hearts and spirits tuned in. And we thank you for all of this in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen. Amen. Okay. Thank you so much, Jamie. Get us going there with some supernatural power. And Daniel, would you be able to run some wins? Is that okay with you, Daniel? Okay. We're going to do, we got 30 seconds to 60 seconds to share a win. And that can be something good that happened in your personal life or in your business, either area. It doesn't have to be just business. So who would like to start with that?
Oh, good.
Hey, Bob, we have a win.
Okay.
So we have 7 people coming to convention next year.
Woo! Have 7 already registered then?
Oh, up there.
Yes.
Canada.
Yep.
That's fabulous.
Woo! That's a win.
Yeah.
That's going to get you guys to Brassfield Estates for leadership training.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
7?
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow. That is outstanding. That is a huge win. That is awesome. Did you guys watch did you have very many people watching the convention?
Actually, no. Well, Dave watched with us.
Yeah.
But my daughter just recently, they were a club member, my daughter and her husband, and her husband just shared with somebody and he signed up. So they moved into promoter. And then one of a good friend of mine that's been a promoter for a year, she couldn't see convention, but the minute that we said we were going to Nashville, I sent her where we were going. And then she texted me and she goes, "How do I sign up for convention? I'm going."
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. That is fantastic. Thank you to Chester's 7 people. That is outstanding. Maybe you guys should shoot for a total of 14, because since we got about a year,
Well, yeah, exactly. I already have more people already. Now I'm thinking, yeah, we got to get more there.
Yeah, keep an active list. Maybe you guys will get clear to 20 since we got a year to go.
Yeah.
And 20, that'll put you, I'm quite sure that would put you solid Emerald Director. I would think with 20 at convention, I think it would do that.
Yeah.
So very good. Who else has a win? Congratulations, Brent and Ramona. That is good news. Well, I have 2 wins from the team I can share. We'll hear from both of these people a little bit later, but Joanne Washington is in, she is in Steffi's team. She's a brand new senior manager, so we'll be hearing a little bit from her later. And then Allison Wilson is a brand new Emerald Director, and we'll be hearing from her a little bit later. So that's very exciting new developments. I think we'll go right now to Araceli and Steve Jenkins. And Araceli and Steve we're very, 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 very honored to have them. They're hot stuff. They're elite. They were in the top 5 rising stars. So that's very elite achievement. and they have just the most amazing melanoma testimony. So they're going to take 15 minutes. They're going to share the testimony, and they're going to share things that they did that allowed them to have some very, very wonderful achievements. They are in the team of some dear friends of mine, David and Marcy Williams team, and the Louis Smith Bald Eagle team. They're wonderful people. I got to talk to them at convention, and they've been so kind to give us 15 minutes of their time to share things they did to get a rock solid achievement. Top 5 rising stars. That's very, very excellent. So let's welcome Steve and Araceli Jenkins. Give them a big, big hand, you guys.
All right.
So go for it, Steve and Araceli.
We really thank you. Thank you for this beautiful morning we have, and you know, even though we're going through the COVID, we're doing great. But I want to give our testimony. It was 2018. I went to see the doctor. The doctor looked at my mark I had on my leg, and when I looked at it, I go, you know, that's got to be melanoma cancer. But I had 2 doctors look at it, and I called in the doctors from the Gong Show. You know, they're nothing but joking around and everything. So we say, look, we want another opinion. About a few days later, on the 23rd of March, 2018, I had a head surgeon take a look at it, and he had a different approach and different look at it. So sometimes you have to challenge these doctors, what they see and what really is. When he looked at the mark, he goes, I need to look at that groin area. And sure enough, I had like 4 or 5 lymph nodes. He goes, we need to do a biopsy. Can we do it today? I go, yeah, that's what we're here for. So he did the biopsy and everything, did the blood work, sent me home. And then it wasn't until the 29th of March, he called me up on my phone. This was like afternoon. He says, Steve, I got some bad news. I says, you got melanoma cancer, advanced aggressive cancer, stage 3C. I says, you need surgery like yesterday. I says, okay, would you mind repeating that to my wife? She was in the room next door. Well, he did, and boy, that kind of did a number, but I already knew what to do on there. I just had to get a hold of Louis Smith, and we did. He told me what I need to do. Since it is advanced aggressive, you have to treat it that way. You have to change the way you're eating. Get away from your meat, your chicken, turkey, fish. You have to do everything the correct way. You have to go to your 9 doctors, which is very important. You need to get any kind of chemicals, toxins out of your house. It's very important. You need to get a good air filter system, you know, a HEPA filter to cycle, and you need plants, you know, snake plants and stuff like that. So the next day we switched over. My wife goes, you're not eating this? I said, look, I had no problem. I'm already converted over on that. So anyway, part of that is, you know, you got to make sure you're breathing in and everything. You got to make sure you're drinking lots of alkaline water. If you don't have alkaline water, you need to add lemon to your water. Even your showers, you need to make sure that your shower has a filter system. If not, you got to drink some good cold water before you take your shower. And cold showers is the best for you when you're going through that. But part of that process is you have to really feed yourself with nutrition, okay? So every 2-3 hours, you need to take in your juices, which is very important. You need to take your salads, your soup, but all plant-based. This is what we're looking at. So right here, my wife is showing some of the slides of my pictures of my leg and everything. And it's just amazing. Within 2 months time, you can watch it shrink 50%. And my blood pressure was first, it was 159/89. And within a couple of months, it was like 122/72. But it's awesome if you just switch the way that you're supposed to be doing, the right food and stuff, and taking the right nutrition, your body will do the healing. And so part of that routine is you have to go to the gym or you have to do your walking, you have to exercise. So what happens when you're working out, you're getting all the oxygen, antioxidants, everything moving in your system. Okay, you're bleeding your lymph nodes, you're doing the whole works when you're working out. It's very important that you do have a good workout program to join. But taking in the juices is very important. Taking nutrition like 3 or 4 times a day, that's very important. You have to hit everything very hard. It's been a testimony because when I went to the gym, they look at me and say, "You got melanoma cancer? You don't even look like it." And I said, and she smelled me. This one lady smelled me because you smell like citrus. Well, you know when you're smelling halfway decent, you don't feel like hydrogen or anything like that. You don't have that funky smell. But when you're eating right, all of a sudden, you got the right smell that your body needs. So we need to really oxidate our body. We need to drink plenty of water and plenty of juice while you're doing that. I don't know if you want to add anything to that.
Well, he said everything, and yeah, it's very important for us. It was very important for us to change to a plant-based diet. I'm sorry, we're recovering from COVID. We're doing good, but we have a little bit of coffee. So it's very important, not just to put all the responsibility of our healing in our supplements that they're so great, but it's very important to take care of what we eat, what we put in our body, what we breathe, what we drink. So after the battle we have with the cancer, people start asking. And before that, I honest, we don't have interest to do business. We are not salespeople. That's what I thought that NeoLife was. But thanks God that Cesar was insisting, like for 30 minutes, so he can explain how to do the business. And after 30 minutes that we talked with Cesar, we understood, that it's not business. It's to share and help people, and it's on the people to hear and say, yes, I want help, or you know what, thank you, I'm not ready. But we need to talk. So after that, we start talking, and thanks God, people, some of them listen, and we start doing in-home meetings that really work for us. In-home meetings to be in touch with with people. I'm sorry. To be in touch with people. So that's why it was just amazing to see, to experience in the convention, that we were part of the 5 top rising stars. It was so amazing. It feels really good, like your company recognize your work. There is not hard work. It's just your work, because to speak with one person is really hard because you don't know what the answer will be. So, and I just heard that Brent and they both, have all those 7 people, and I'm pretty sure you guys gonna qualify for the leadership school. We are going this September, so I'll let you know how it was. But be ready for that. Yeah, be ready for that. To go to the leadership school. I'm pretty sure it changed your life. So fight for that. Just continue doing it, and be ready to qualify that. And I mean, here we are. We are a team. We are part of NeoLife. So yeah.
Oh yeah, Bob, I want to add, I didn't tell you, but the 4th month when they checked the groin area, there is no lymph nodes at all. And so the doctors looked at it like, what the heck's going on here? I thought you had lymph nodes. I said, well, I told you I'm taking nutrition. And so he was kind of blown away. So he goes, well, we're going to get you set up a PET scan. So by the following month, we did a PET scan on there. And of course, they do the reading the next month afterwards. And they found no cancer at all. So we praise God. We thank for NeoLife. We're blessed. And so we just want to share, encourage people that there's a better way, but you have to go all out for it. If you have any kind of sickness or disease or illness, whatever you have, go 100%. But if you don't, you'll be spinning your tires for a long time, you know. So make sure you go 100% on your nutrition and your supplements.
And how many Phyto did you take, Steve?
Well, on that, we're taking 9 boxes of Phyto Defense since 9 packages a day. So that means within 3 days, you're already gone through 1 box. So your vitamin C was taking 15 of those. And your vitamin A, of course, anytime you take more than 4 carotenoids, requires a vitamin A with it to keep your carotenoids do what they're doing, and the vitamin A what it's supposed to be doing. It's cheaper to buy the vitamin A. And also you need your B complex because, you know, it's also good hydrochloric acid for your stomach and everything else. Your protein with your 22 amino acids, your glycemic control. So those play a big part. Your vitamin D, your E, all plays right in there. So you're hitting everything, a strong regimen. And, you know, and all glory goes to our Heavenly Father. And we thank you that we have Christian scientists and toxologists and people that love the Lord. And they're concerned about not watering down their products, but keeping it at the same capacity that they started at the very beginning. And so we thank everybody.
Yeah, I mean, imagine, because I've heard melanoma is very, very, very dangerous, is what I've always heard. And I was reading your testimony, and it said in 6 months you were cancer free. Does that sound right?
That's right. Yes.
Yes. I mean, and you know, when you think about the cost, 9 Phyto a day, that's $27. Well, I know a guy that was in the hospital for, I think it was 2 nights, $13,000. And, you know, so people say $27. Oh, man, that is like zero. You know, if they did a chemo treatment, they'd probably be out $5,000-$10,000. You know, so our way is so cheap, and yet it's strengthening your natural inborn hardwired program system to heal that, you know, God put it in you, but it has to be fed and nourished, right, and equipped.
Right.
So for $27, I mean, it's like nothing. The hospital's $2-3 grand a day, you know? So, and I heard that you guys had kind of a difficult thing. You have to take difficult with the good. You guys, didn't you have to go on a yacht or something in Alaska?
Oh yeah, we didn't have to. We wanted to. We had that invitation from Louis Smith. Is you guys want to come? I go, heck yeah, why not? This was my wife's bucket list is going to Alaska. It didn't make any difference to me. I'm pretty easygoing and everything. And so sure enough, we got the tickets and everything, got our COVID test and everything, that 72-hour one. And yeah, we went up there and we had a great time. We brought back 80 pounds of salmon and halibut. So, you know, they're already filleted and packed, and you know, all we do is carry a couple of boxes like that, you know, 40 pounds a piece. But yeah, we were blessed on that. Yes.
Yeah, that was quite an experience. I saw the photos, and so I guess we'll close with this. Caesar said to you guys, it's not business, it's to help people. Is that right?
Right. Yeah.
Isn't that super important for our brain? Because if we're thinking making money, we all need money, of course. But if that's primary on our brain, to me, it just cuts me off at the knees. All my confidence goes out the window because I don't have, you know, it just takes the wind out of my sails. But if I think the focus is super important, isn't it, Steve and Araceli, that it's to help people, right?
Yeah, right. And you know, when you have that in mind, it's more easy.
Oh, yes.
We celebrate the success of our people. When you know, they got their 2,000 points. We know that it's gonna be more than $500 check.
Yeah.
So then they call us and you know, we celebrate with them because I think we all need financial help, no
Yes.
matter how much money you have, you know.
Yes.
So helping people to get their help, helping people. We have quite a few people fighting cancer. They are
Really?
wonderful results. You
Wow.
know, we do to apply what I apply to my husband. So I give them all the recipes for juices and what to eat and what not to eat. So they're having pretty good results. So why not to continue doing that? You know, if we have a wonderful, wonderful, amazing product, we do have. You know.
Yeah. So, and you guys agree that was really wise, wasn't it? How Caesar put it, to help you guys get in. Okay, we don't have to try to do business, but help people. Yeah. Okay. Well, thank you for taking your time. We appreciate it so much that you guys would share with us, and congratulations on you guys have had courage to go talk to people, keeping foremost in mind, hey, we can help these people, right? That's the mentality.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, very good.
Well, thank you for inviting us. It is a privilege to serve.
Okay, well, we thank you so very much, you guys. Let's give them a hand, you guys. And next we'll move to Amanda Smith. And Amanda has gone as high as you can possibly go in pharmacy. She holds a doctorate in pharmacy, and she's popular, frequent presenter for the health professionals panel. She is a great presenter, and she's going to share with us a little bit how she got in NeoLife and what gives her confidence in the product. And she's just a very, very good presenter. So let's welcome Dr. Amanda Smith.
Thank you so much, Bob. It's a pleasure to be here and an honor to talk to you guys today. But I guess you wanted me to share a little bit about how I got introduced to NeoLife and why I chose to go with these products. And that is quite simply, the products were shared with me. My children went to school with Chelsea and Josh Clark's children, whom I didn't know at the time. And long story short, we were invited to a team retreat, and it was absolutely life-changing. She basically said, if you want to know what these products are about and you really want to get a big picture, then you need to come to one of these events. And so we did. I was very skeptical. Being in pharmacy, been practicing for over 20 years now. I know how unregulated the supplement industry is. I know that supplements a lot of times follow the latest fads and trends. And even though there's a lot of science backing why a lot of supplements are on the market, everybody and their brother, so to speak, tries to reproduce that as basically a moneymaker. I'd also seen in pharmacy over those years how much healthcare in pharmacy has changed. I went into pharmacy to help people. I have a passion for helping others. I have a passion for the human body and the amazing things that it can do. And I have just seen people get sicker and sicker, and it has been absolutely heartbreaking. So I have some family history and some family. My dad's the baby of 16, and a lot of heart issues, cancer, just a lot of health issues and chronic disease that I wanted to find other ways. And I've always had a passion for finding the underlying cause of problems rather than just putting a Band-Aid on it. And so I think that a lot of times, especially in pharmacy today, even though I think medicine, there's such a time and place for medicine, I think too many times today we put Band-Aids on issues. And so I've seen that in my career. And when I was presented with NeoLife products, to be honest with you, they almost seem too good to be true, just because of all I know about the supplement industry. But I also went to that retreat and got to hear John Miller. and I got to hear the science behind the products, and I knew and I believe in the science behind the products. And so I started digging and doing lots of research. And the more I dug, the more I found just the incredible integrity, not only of the products, because these products absolutely work, and what they say are in the products is definitely in the products. Integrity in the products, integrity in the company, integrity in the people. And to be honest with you, at that first retreat, the people are what sold us on these nutritionals. And as we did more and more research, definitely knew that these products were pioneers in the industry and top of the line products. So that's just kind of how I guess we got into NeoLife. I've been presented with many opportunities, many companies. You guys know there are tons of companies out there. Tried a lot of different products and never ever been behind a product enough that I would actually speak to it or be wholeheartedly believing in it. But I have many stories that I could share with you. Bob has asked me to share a couple of stories, and so I wanted to start. And Bob, you can interrupt me at any time if there's something that you want me to elaborate on or speak on. But I'll just say, once I heard the science behind these products, there were some really people that were dear to my heart and my family that I knew that I wanted to get help with. I didn't even think about myself, even though I suffer with had several things that I suffered with, one being PCOS, or polycystic ovarian syndrome. I was diagnosed in my 20s, and in my 20s was put on a product called metformin, which is also called glucophage, because I have insulin resistance, and that is a common problem with PCOS. Basically, your body doesn't utilize glucose and insulin to the best of its ability. So I had been on that product for about 20 years and really thought I'd be on it the rest of my life, because you know the importance of glucose in your body and keeping that regulated. And after I started on the breakfast pack and glucose balance was introduced, I think, so we started, let me back up a little bit. We were introduced fall of 2018, I think, went to fall retreat, got started on products. Thanksgiving week, I think 2018 is the first product that I tried. And so I think that January, correct me if I'm wrong, guys that know, but I think is when maybe at Rally Glucose Balance was released. And so was really interested in that product, started taking that product. And I can't recommend this, but I weaned myself off of my glucophage and just didn't take it anymore, and took the glucose balance and the breakfast pack and added some extra salmon oil and some other products. Went for a follow-up visit to my gynecologist, and she did some blood work for my glucose, and numbers don't lie. So I have some numbers for you guys. I'm a science numbers person, but she said, I need to take your blood work to make sure we still want to give you this medication. I didn't tell her I'd stopped taking it because I wanted to know what she had to say. So she said, we're going to have to do some fasting blood work to see if you still need to be on this, because as with most medications, pretty much every medication, you have a risk. It all has to be basically not only digested, but it filters through your liver or your kidneys. And so that's really taxing on your body over time. And metformin is one of those medications that's really taxing on the body. So she did my numbers, and my insulin came back at 2.5. The range for that is 2 to 19.6 or 2 to 20. My glucose came back at 81, and you want that to be 65 to 99. And my A1C was 4.6, which you want that to be less than 5.7. And so that spoke volumes to me. And she was like, we can't prescribe this medication for you anymore. You don't need it anymore. And so needless to say, I didn't tell her I hadn't been taking it. But so I, after 20 something years, got off of metformin. So that's one of my many stories. I think one of the ones that's near and dear to my heart, as soon as I heard about NeoLife, my dad was on a laundry list of medications. As I told you, he's the baby of 16, heart disease. There's only him and one other brother that are left living due to various stroke, heart disease, and cancer. And so he has a strong family history. He was on a laundry list of medications. I immediately introduced it to him, said, Dad, I really want you to try these things. So I have his blood work as well, and I can share this with anybody that wants to see further. But he had some blood work done in September of that year. I introduced him in December of 2018. He had blood work done in September, sorry. And I'll show you here. I don't know if you can see this, but he was on a statin. He was on all kind of medications. There's his numbers. His cholesterol was in normal range, but if you can see his triglycerides, they were 216. You can also see all of his other numbers. And I said, Dad, just trust me. I want you to get on this. Remember, this is Christmas. My dad loves to eat. He didn't change anything in his diet, although he probably should have. And I started him on the breakfast pack, extra salmon oil. I think that might be all I started him on at that time. And he had blood work done in January. So that was September 21st of 2018. He had blood work done in January of 2019 just to see. And if you can see his numbers, his triglycerides went down to 122. Can you guys see that?
Yeah. Wow. And they were 217 or something?
They were 216. You see that?
216 down to 122, huh?
Yep.
Wow.
In a month's time.
1
Really,
month?
a month and a half. He was just consistent. He didn't change anything. I said, Dad, don't change any of your medications. Don't change anything.
Wow.
His total cholesterol, you probably couldn't see these numbers because I wanted to highlight his triglycerides, but his total cholesterol went from 156 to 138. His HDL, which is your good cholesterol, went from 39 to 44. So that went up. His cholesterol ratio is what they look at now, went from 4.0 to 3.1. His direct LDL went from 87, which is what they call the bad cholesterol, to 70. And so that spoke volumes. And after that, I was able to help wean him off of his statin, because statins are, even though they do the job of lowering your cholesterol, there's many side effects. And long term, they can be really taxing on the liver and rhabdomyolysis, muscle aches, pains, just a lot of problems. And so he had blood work done again in later that year, and his cholesterol continued to come down. So that speaks volumes to me. The other thing that I was really proud about, my dad is a prostate cancer survivor, and he has gone through treatment, but his PSA at that time of that first reading was 0.36. It's down here at the bottom.
Okay.
And didn't even think about it, but his PSA came down after that first month or so. I was trying to find this number, 0.27.
0.27.
So that was incredible as well.
Great.
So I say all that just to say, if you're a science person and you need numbers, testimonies are galore, but when you see those kind of numbers in the healthcare industry, then you know something is working. And so that definitely made me a firm believer. So
Amanda,
did you have questions, Bob?
yeah, what's the best thing if a person wants to lower PSA? Are there a few things you might suggest for that?
I would have to look. Did some research at one time, and I'd have to look back. So I'd hate to say anything right now,
Okay.
but I mean, it was amazing to me that his PSA was lowered with just the breakfast pack, extra salmon oil, because there's a lot of inflammation going on there as well. And I think he at that time also started the lipotropic. Okay. So he takes a lot more now because he's a firm believer. So he's added a lot more products, but I'd have to research that before I spoke on.
You were on glucophage 27 years, is that right?
No, it was probably, let me think, maybe around 24 when I got on it. And I'd say about 20 years. I'm 46 now. So I'd say a little over 20 years is how long I was on glucophage.
And is the PCOS better too?
Yes, much better. To be honest, I had never had regular cycles just because of all the problems. Didn't think a thing about it. Like I said, I wanted the nutrition in my family because I knew how important that was, but I was targeting other members of my family to kind of help their problems because our body's amazing, and just started seeing incredible results in myself. So I started having regular menstrual cycles for the first time in my life, which was amazing.
Wonderful. Wonderful. That's great.
Yes. So did you want me to talk a little bit on digestion?
If you could please, that would be wonderful. And thanks for sharing those stories. Those are thrilling. Those are thrilling. And is PCOS very common? Is that like 1 out of 100 women, or 2 out of 100, or 1 out of 200? What, or is it 5 out of 100? How
I don't know the exact numbers. I know it's super common, and it's probably undiagnosed in a lot of people. I had extremely painful menstrual cycles, and I was diagnosed with the insulin resistance because I couldn't get pregnant at the time in my 20s.
Okay.
Is how mine was diagnosed.
I see. Okay. And is a characteristic of it just super painful periods? Is that's an indicator perhaps?
There's a lot of different indications, but that is insulin resistance, super painful cycles, and usually you have cysts on your ovaries, and those can rupture. Those can, I think there's several people actually in our NeoLife family that have had horrible consequences from cysts on ovaries and just rupturing and things like that. So
Okay. Yeah, Sabrina Buser and
and then Rebecca Williams. Rebecca Williams actually lost an ovary, I think.
Okay.
So.
Okay, so this is good to know. Just a breakfast pack. I know Sabrina said her inflammation dropped like 50% just on a breakfast pack, like in 1 or 2 or 3 months. So that's tremendous.
Yes, I think the salmon oil. I mean, you've seen the studies that anybody that needs those kind of numbers, but when you start decreasing inflammation in your body, we all know chronic disease is definitely due to inflammation and oxidation. So that inflammation, the fact that her inflammation factor was decreased in that amount of time is amazing.
Yes. Okay. Well, yeah, if you could do the digestion stuff is what you were going to share with us. Is that right?
Yes. And I am trying to find, hold on one second. Let me pull up.
Okay.
I've got it pulled up, but I don't know how to share my screen.
Daniel, is that something, maybe since he's the host, he might need to, I'll give him a call here. I think he has to share screen with you, I think. Or do you know? Do you have a share screen button?
I do, and hold on one second.
Maybe that might work. I don't know.
Oops.
Yeah, anyone can share. If you'd like to share your screen, it's open.
Okay. So if she just needs to hit share screen is all she needs to do, Daniel?
Yep.
Okay.
Okay, let me try this again. Hold on one second.
Amanda's a great presenter, so you guys are going to enjoy this.
I am sorry. Hold on one second. For some reason, it kicked me out. I cannot see anymore. Okay, let me see if I can open it now. I'm not sure why.
Okay.
Okay, let's see if this works.
Okay. Okay. Dear Lord, please help this work.
I'm so sorry. Okay, here we go. I think I found it.
Oh, wonderful. Wonderful. All right. All right.
Let me see. Give me 1 second. Let me get this in the right thing. Okay,
Okay.
can
Great.
you see now?
It's opening up. There we go. We can see it.
Okay, let me just make sure I can advance this. Perfect. I'm so sorry, guys.
Oh,
Okay, perfect. Okay, so I'm going to spend a few minutes talking a little bit about digestion. And it's just kind of a subject that nobody really wants to talk about when you start talking about gas and bloating and diarrhea and constipation, acid reflux, just to name a few. But most of us experience it at some point, if not daily, then occasionally. And we certainly know friends and family that suffer with this. And so I hope to share a little bit of information with you on digestion, the importance of healthy digestion, and some incredible products that NeoLife actually has to help us with digestion. So when you think about the GI system, it is so incredibly complex, and it actually plays an essential role in our overall health. If you think about it, everything we put in our mouth has to go through this system. And so it's either broken down, eliminated, or it gets stored. But it's far more than just a digestive system. In fact, did you know that it houses 70 to 80% of our immune system? It produces systemic enzymes and most of our neurotransmitters like serotonin, all of which have a huge impact on our health. So not only does our digestive system nourish us, but it defends us, and it also heals us and affects our moods, which is incredibly important when you start thinking about problems that we go through and experience. In fact, there's all of this research that's been going on about the gut-brain axis and how our GI system is actually called the second brain if you do some of that research. Our gut has more neurons than our brain and more bacteria than cells in our body, which is pretty incredible to think about. This is why any imbalances in our GI system can lead to symptoms elsewhere in our body, including in our immune system, our nervous system, and our skin. In fact, there's so much with our gut health linked directly to our brain. So as a pharmacist, one of the things that I get to see, and my screen is stuck. Hold on, it went too fast. Is I see this right in front of where I practice daily. And I don't think it would surprise you that billions of dollars are spent every year on prescriptions and surgeries and over-the-counter medications to try to fix digestion because so many people experience it. But I think too many times we try to put a Band-Aid on that. And we dismiss a lot of those symptoms that could be an indicator of a bigger problem, and not just, oh, my stomach hurts and I have a little bit of gas, so I'm going to take something to remedy that right now. I think it all starts definitely with proper nutrition, and that is a key. But also, I think that you have to really know your body. Our body's an incredible machine. Proton pump inhibitors, which you see on the screen here, your purple pills, your Prevacid, the Zegerid, Nexium, they all used to be prescription. They're over the counter now, and they're incredibly overprescribed. You probably know somebody, or you've probably taken these at some point in your life because they're just seen as almost another Tylenol or an ibuprofen. But there's so much research that has been done that if you stay on these long term, it can dramatically worsen your digestive function. It can actually compromise your immune system and increase the risk of infections, mood disorders, chronic pain, and even osteoporosis. So it's pretty important that and I can share more if anybody ever wants to learn about that, but you can research these and see the research that has been done on the problems that causes long-term. And a lot of that is because we try to decrease our stomach acid, which we're going to talk about, because with the gut being so incredibly complex, there's 3 little issues that I want to hit briefly today. The first one is too little stomach acid. Burping, gas, bad breath. So many times people think that indigestion is due to too much stomach acid, which is understandable, because if you think about it, there's a burning sensation or gastric distress. But the problem usually is associated with not enough stomach acid. And so that's a hard concept for a lot of people to understand, because it's just too easy to go and grab a Tums or grab a little purple pill to get instant relief. And so many times that's what we do. But there's so many consequences of low stomach acid that we need to be aware of. And NeoLife knew about this, and you'll see the product that many of you probably take and have heard of. But when you have too little stomach acid, the acid reflux is caused in a couple of ways. So when you eat, your stomach acid increases to digest your food. And that actually triggers the lower esophageal sphincter to close tightly so that it keeps your food down and it keeps digesting and pushing it down. But when you don't have enough stomach acid, that little sphincter stays slightly open. Well, that causes big problems, because not only does the food sit in your stomach and start to rot and putrefy and let off all kind of bad bacteria, which overgrows in the gut, but that food starts coming back up that little open sphincter. So you experience the pressure from that food sitting in your stomach. It forces it back up into the esophagus. So you feel those symptoms of acid reflux and burping and pressure and burning sensations. Also, did you know that without proper acid, that you can't properly break down your proteins? Well, guess what? Proteins are broken down into amino acids, which are the building blocks of everything in our body. But one of those building blocks of amino acids is that they're made for neurotransmitters like serotonin. Heard of serotonin, the feel-good hormone? Everybody needs serotonin. It all starts in the gut. And this is incredibly simplified because it's so complex. But just to give you a little idea of what not enough stomach acid does. Also, when you start talking about the gut bacteria or the gut flora, when we eat food, a lot of times there are foodborne pathogens or bacteria in that food. Well, that stomach acid is designed to kill off that foodborne bacteria. If you don't have enough stomach acid, guess what? That bad bacteria overgrows in your GI tract. And that starts causing big problems. In fact, we have a son that's adopted from Russia, and he had giardia, which when he came over, which is very common. It's a bad bacteria that is in the gut due to bad water and stuff like that. And so there's so many things that can overgrow in the gut if you don't have enough stomach acid. There's also a lot of nutrients that need a certain pH to be absorbed. So you can get malabsorption, especially of folate and iron absorption, calcium, magnesium, zinc. B12 is so important with the gut balance in the digestive tract. And so there's so many of supplements that you may be taking that you may not be absorbing, even though we have incredible technology that is the bioavailability of our supplements, which is so important for your body to absorb what we're putting into them. If your digestion is not right and you're not getting the full effects of those, which is extremely important. And then there's leaky gut that many of you have probably heard of. And that's when you don't digest your starches completely. You actually have overgrowth of bacteria in the lower or small intestine. And you actually have little gates, to make it simply put it, that keep the bad stuff in, the good stuff, keep things where they're supposed to go. And the bacteria can actually kind of spread those gates open. And so you get leaking of undigested proteins and starches into your blood and into your body. And that's also a source of food allergies, because your body's incredible. So guess what it does when those particles that aren't supposed to be in the bloodstream are there? Your body, being the incredible machine that it is, starts to attack it because that's what it's supposed to do. but it's attacking food, so you develop food allergies, which is incredibly, when you think about how many food allergies people have today, it makes perfect sense, because we're exacerbating the problem with what we're putting Band-Aids on what we should be increasing our stomach acid. So NeoLife has made an incredible product that helps improve the efficacy of digestion by providing our bodies naturally with what we need for effective stomach digestion. I love this product. Its key ingredient is the betaine hydrochloride. It's derived from the root of beets. So all of our products are whole food derived products, which is incredibly important. It mimics actual natural gastric secretion. And you can see there on the screen that the usual dose is 1 to 3 tablets immediately before or with food. I will caution you, do not take this on an empty stomach. It is going to increase your hydrochloride. So a lot of times, if you already have issues, you're going to worsen those issues if you take this, especially on an empty stomach. Also, if you're already taking acid inhibitors or proton pump inhibitors, you definitely want to do a weaning program before you start taking a lot of this to not worsen your side effects. The second thing that I want to hit on briefly is overburden enzymes. And our enzymes are so important in our bodies. They do so much more than, my screen is stuck again, maybe it'll catch up. They do so much more than expedite digestion. They're inflammatory, and actually they're proteolytic outside of the digestion and the digestive tract. And this is when you have inflammatory conditions. Actually, I don't know if you've heard, when people have soft tissue injuries, they'll take proteolytic enzymes to help scavenge and eat away at the damaged proteins, because enzymes are so important to help clean up the mess. They also break down pathogens, so they're extremely important in our bodies, basically scavenging up the leftovers and the damaged products that we have. But with our bodies, we often overeat. We often eat the wrong things. We often eat too much meat or too many things that take a lot more enzymes to digest. That's one reason, vegan diets are so popular, and actually it's really good for you to eat a lot of protein. Eat a lot of vegetables and raw foods, because when we cook our foods, you cook a lot of the enzymes out. But there are inherent enzymes in raw food that's not destroyed in the cooking. So that's why juicing is so beneficial. And also, it's been shown that vegetarians traditionally have lived longer and have been healthier in some cultures. And I think a lot of the reason is because of their enzymatic systems are not overburdened like we do ours with processed foods and everything. I'm trying to get this to advance. Okay, there we go. So NeoLife, once again, has made another product, and these products have been around for a really long time. When I say that NeoLife is a pioneer in the industry, this is not something that NeoLife, Bob, you could probably speak to how long these have been out, but I'm sure, they have been out years and years and years. So NeoLife has been ahead of the game with knowing what our body needs, and their scientists are incredible at studying the human body and exactly what is beneficial to maximize nutrition and absorption. But this Enzyme Digestive Aid is NeoLife's solution. It actually enhances digestion throughout the intestinal tract. It's targeted to release in the intestines, so it helps us break down complex foods. So when you have a complete digestive formula, it contains all 3 major types of digestive enzymes. It supports the digestion of proteins, carbohydrates, and fats. It even includes some bile salts and dihydrochloric acid, and that helps further break down fat globules. And so you'll see here the suggested use is 2 to 4 tablets a day immediately before or after meals. And I can tell you, if you have somebody, I would keep this with you, the enzymes, or you can keep this great product that, if I can get this to advance again, that NeoLife has put these 2 products together to maximize digestive support. They've conveniently packaged both of these amazing products into little packets so you can have on the go. And because these products do work synergistically. So I suggest you either have this with you when you're out and about, or at least have the enzymes with you, because if you're out eating with someone, you want to make a firm believer out of them quickly. Anybody who has stomach issues or bloating after they eat, give them a couple of those enzymes, and you can almost be guaranteed in about 15 minutes they'll get some relief. Have you experienced that, Bob?
Yes, yes.
Yes. So I've made several firm believers just out of the enzymes. When you can give people relief instantly like that, that says a lot.
Yeah.
And the third problem I want to touch on is just the unbalanced intestinal flora. And basically, your GI system has good bacteria and it has bad bacteria. The good bacteria help optimize health and immunity. And then the harmful bacteria actually produce toxins and even carcinogens. And so we have to be really careful about our bacterial, trying to keep a balance in our digestive tract. The good bacteria can actually be destroyed by all kinds of things: antibiotics, prescriptions, over-the-counter medications, poor diet choices, excess sugar, alcohol, stress, poor health, not exercising, bacterial, viral, and fungal infections. And when this happens, you get a surplus of the bad bacteria. It can lead to a cascade of events that ultimately trigger chronic disease, such as inflammatory bowel disease, obesity, type 2 diabetes, anxiety, depression, cancer, and the list goes on. The good bacteria is also important, as I kind of hit on earlier, in the production of those B vitamins. And that's a whole cascade with the serotonin loop as well. So NeoLife, once again, has an incredible solution to this, and that is the Acidophilus Plus. I love this product. I think it's probably one of my first line of defenses for most people, because almost everyone has been on antibiotics or they've had some kind of digestive issues at some point. I usually suggest starting with about 2 of these a day for anyone who has any digestive issues, because remember, you have to be able to absorb the nutrients in our supplements for them to be beneficial. So you definitely want to optimize the support of your digestive tract. After a month or so, I usually suggest they come back down to about 1 a day. I store this in the refrigerator. It has to be stored in a cool, dry place. And again, this is a whole food derived supplement. It has the potency of 5 billion live microorganisms per capsule, with a gel guard technology that helps guarantee delivery of those live bacteria in the stomach, that they survive the stomach acid and actually get to the intestinal tract. There are so many probiotics on the market, so many. And it's quite well known, especially I see day in and day out, a lot of prescribers are suggesting or even prescribing a probiotic when they prescribe an antibiotic, because it is becoming more and more well known how important it is to have these probiotics in our system. So that is something that I suggest you keep in stock and keep in your refrigerator. It's actually amazing too. If you have a virus, you can take lots of this and it actually helps your body overcome that, probably because of the balance that kills off those pathogens in your body. And I'm just going to touch on a couple more products, Bob, and then I will be done.
Okay.
My slideshow is not one to go. Hold on one second, it skipped again. So there's another product, the fiber, that I wanted to touch on quickly. This product, the average person only consumes about half the fiber we need. NeoLife's fiber is incredible. It's a exclusive neopoly fiber that helps remove cholesterol, which is awesome, without robbing our extra nutrients. It has 12 natural sources. It provides 6 grams of fiber per serving, 5 grams of insoluble and 1 gram of soluble. It's 100% vegetarian and vegan. And it actually provides as much fiber as 2 apples, which is great to know. I suggest that if you're not taking this, it's great in your shake. It has sort of a banana flavor to me. The suggested use is 3 tablespoons and 8 ounces of liquid. But if you haven't started taking this at all, you definitely want to start slow, like maybe an 1/8 of a scoop or something, and slowly build up, because it will cause some gastric distress if you go too quickly on that. The next product I want to briefly touch on is the aloe. Aloe is one of the greatest herbs ever. It's old, lots of research, helps cool down everything, anti-stress, helps coat the esophagus, coats the stomach, helps with leaky gut, helps with constipation. NeoLife has formulated this from the gel only. There's a lot of aloe juices on the market as well, just because it's well known how good aloe is for you. But NeoLife has also added some herbal tea blend in with some chamomile and passion flower. I could tell you stories about this personally. I will tell you this has become one of my favorite products. I don't go without it. I take it daily. I have esophageal spasms, and this has helped tremendously, which I can tell that story another day. And then these are just some incredible products for the GI system. Garlic, I'm sure you all know, is almost like a natural antibiotic. It's incredible for our body. The detox system, you definitely, if you haven't done a detox, if you detox and reset, that's super important about every 90 days or so. And NeoLife is a natural, gentle laxative that NeoLife has developed with great success. So with that being said, Bob, I thank you for having me on today, and I thank you for your time. Anybody is welcome to always reach out to me, and I'll help in any way that I can.
Okay, thank you so much, Amanda. You guys can see why she's very sought after for wisdom builder, team events, and corporate staff for health professional panel. Amanda's well organized, well informed, great communicator. So Amanda, we're just very, very grateful for you sharing your time with us and your expertise. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Bob. It was a pleasure to be on today. Thank you so much.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay, well, from there, we're going to jump to Jenny Knowles, and Jenny is going to take 2 or 3 minutes, and she was a first-time attendee at convention, and she's going to share with us what her main impressions were from convention. It's nice to hear from someone that their first time. So Jenny, can you take it away?
Am I on now?
Yes, you are. I can hear you. There you are.
All right. Yeah, convention was absolutely phenomenal. It left me, I mean, I was just raving. And the information that was there, people were magnificent. I mean, I was just blessed to be able to go. Thank you, John and Debbie. And I mean, I don't know what all to say, but the new product that's out, I'm so excited to get it. It was just a lot of fun, a lot of info, a lot of wonderful people. Like I said, I left there just raring to go. I was so excited to be there.
Okay, thank you, Jenny. We were delighted to have you with us. You're a definite convention person because you were so animated and having so much fun, enjoying everyone. A ton of nice people, right?
Wonderful people, just wonderful.
And you know something, Bob. This is John Chambers and John, the John of Debbie, who Jenny so nicely acknowledged us, but we were very pleased to be able to help Jenny get there. And next week we have the county fair, and we can hardly wait to be there with Jenny and watch her work the booth, because this is going to be real fun.
Yeah, Jenny is very strong on enthusiasm, passion, and very warm to greet people, to welcome people. She'll be outstanding in the booth. And so thank you, Jenny. And now we're going to move to, and Jenny, we were so happy to have you with us. Now we're going to move to another just absolutely wonderful person named Marina Irish. And Marina was there for her first convention. So she's going to take 2 or 3 minutes, tell us her primary impressions, what struck her the most. So go ahead, Marina.
I may have to use yours.
Okay.
You don't have to mute yourself.
Okay, yeah.
Hi. Okay. Yes, I really enjoyed it. That was my first convention, and I wish it hadn't been my first because I feel bummed that I didn't go before earlier. But anyway, I really, really enjoyed mostly the people. I think that's what most people say initially, but we came in and went to the Health Expo that first night, which was the free event. And I have to say that was really exciting to go to and see all of that information super fast and just start off the weekend on the right foot. And then we spent so many hours just talking. I think we closed down the place, talking to everybody. I was excited because I've seen so many people on Zoom meetings or on virtual events and haven't actually gotten to meet them in person. And so I was going around making sure I got to meet people in person, which was so fun. And everyone was really, everyone was really down to earth and encouraging and warm and welcoming. So that was exciting. I wrote down a few things that were kind of big highlights for me. So just like some people that I had seen, even on Josh's training on Mondays, I'd seen people there, or at Wisdom Builders retreats, I'd seen them speak and then got to meet them in person. That was really exciting. The next days were really fun to see all of the recognition on so many different levels. I think that was exciting and encouraging because the company really celebrates everybody. And I thought that was amazing just to see so many people up on stage and then get to talk to them afterwards. I remember meeting one of the challenge champions, and all the challenge champions were so exciting. They were really enthusiastic. But I met Elizabeth and her husband, and she recognized me from a 3-day detox Facebook group, which was fun because, that group is exclusive to anybody that's going through the detox. And it was interesting to talk to her about that because I hadn't done the detox since the beginning of the year. And she said, oh, I remember your posts, which was really sweet. They're all very warm and welcoming. I think content-wise, convention kind of blew my mind. The speakers were really knowledgeable, and of course, lots of health professionals. I really enjoyed Dr. Liz Applegate. She has such a way with teaching and communicating that information really well so that you can absorb it. But I know I'm not going to remember all the information from convention. I think it mostly just allowed me to come away with an appreciation for how much science and research goes into all the products, just knowing that there's a lot backing every single product they put out. It was unbelievable. Let's see. Well, anyway, I have a lot. There was a lot of good memories. I think the location was fabulous. We got absolutely spoiled with that beautiful resort and the pool party and all of the celebrating and the in-between times that were really fun. There was so many little things that they gave us while we were there that we couldn't even use them all. I think there was like putt and some free bike rental and all these things that you could have done. We were having so much fun spending time with each other that we didn't even get to all of it, but it was so beautiful and a great venue. And the gala dinner was really, really fun. All that time to connect with everybody. And I think my favorite was Sunday morning, going to the worship at the end of convention. I think it's amazing that our company would put that on their convention schedule as an actual event. It was really great. And so anyway, I thank Bob for encouraging me to go to that. It was amazing. Some wonderful testimonies that morning and a great message from Louis Smith, just really, really encouraging and probably my favorite part of the whole weekend. So anyway,
Fantastic.
I enjoyed it.
Okay, good. Thank you so much, Marina. You can tell she wasn't bored at all, had a good time. And I couldn't agree more. Just tremendous people, zero boredom, beautiful location.
Yeah.
So we're going to have one more first-time attendee share, and then we'll go to Allison, who is a brand new Emerald Director, which is just a tremendous achievement. And just before Allison, we're going to have Joanne Washington speak. And this was Joanne's first convention, and she is a brand new senior manager. And from the LA area. I enjoyed getting to know her and her husband, Bill, very much. They're very, very pleasant people and also very successful in business. They've been self-employed 29 years and their own business. So Joanne's going to take 3 minutes and tell us her impressions from the first convention. So let's welcome Joanne Washington, brand new senior manager. Now, are you there, Joanne? Maybe you need
Here we go. All right, I unmuted myself. Okay. Good morning, everyone. How are you?
We're good.
So that was my very first time attending the meeting. And I had a chance, I kept seeing Bob and Barbara on Zoom, but I'd never met them. But when I did meet them, it was like I knew them for years. And so that was very comforting to know, because when you go to a place where there's so many people, you just kind of get lost in the shuffle. So I was very pleased that they were so kind and embracing. I also appreciated the fact that people shared their personal testimonials. And my husband has his own personal challenge right now with cancer. And people were very, very forthcoming in sharing information and explaining what they're doing for their own health. As a matter of fact, Bob had a meeting with one of the people, I can't think of his name, that knows quite a bit. He's a nutritionist. What was his name, Bob, that you had that meeting for us? And he shared so much information, I was able to ask him.
Yeah, Dr. Jim McAfee.
Dr. who?
Jim McAfee.
Okay, McAfee. Okay, great. Okay. And so that was very helpful, because I was able to ask about questions for prostate cancer and tumors and that sort of thing. And so I was able to walk away feeling really good that I was able to get help for my husband and for his health, overall health, and also for mine as well, for high blood pressure. So sharing the testimonials, and I was very impressed with the fact that a lot of doctors were sharing their experience, and that they were they've used the product themselves, and they are sharing these products with their clients. So they know exactly what it will do. So people now are just transitioning and really taking, they're just taking over and start, being accountable for their health and looking for different and better ways to keep themselves healthy. So overall, I'm just really pleased. And I was also amazed to see how much money people were making from just selling the product. And it's not that hard or difficult. And all they're doing is sharing information and helping their friends and their family members and the whole bit, because people are looking for different and better alternatives. So I was very pleased overall with the meeting and how friendly everyone was. So, and the testimonials and the training, and how the doctor broke down how cholesterol impacts our body and what caused these problems. So anyway, I'm looking forward to the next meeting.
Okay, good. Well,
Okay, and that's it. That's my share.
Okay, thank you, Joanne. We were delighted to have you, and so glad you had time and felt welcome. We're delighted to have you in our team. New senior manager, and Joanne signed up someone last night with about a $300 order. So that's really $400 order. That's incredible. So she's on her way. Now our next.
Yeah, and I have a few more people. So
yeah.
Anyway, thanks.
You bet. She's got more coming. So yeah, I think Joanne is going to be a rising star in our team. She's experienced in business and enjoying the nutrition. So yeah, she's a rising star. Now we're going to hear from quite an amazing person clear out in New York. We're going from Joanne's down in LA area. Now we're going to New York, and Allison is a first-time Emerald director, just qualified. I think she sold about 13,000 in her group in the last 3 months. So that's quite an achievement. She's very gifted at inviting people and persisting. So let's welcome a brand new Emerald director, Allison Wilson.
Good morning, everyone. Good afternoon from my end here in New York. I'm Allison Wilson. A little background, I am a registered nurse. A little over 3 years, I was introduced to NeoLife by Claudette Lockerbie, who is also a retired nurse educator. Just visited her and she said, "Allie, you look tired." And she introduced me. I didn't know what was going on, but when I found out, there was no hesitation. The same day Claudette told me about NeoLife, I got involved with it. And I went for a health screening and found out I had prediabetes. And the doctor wanted to start me on metformin. Being a nurse, I didn't want to start that medication. I couldn't see myself taking finger stick. And I said to the doctor, I would not take it. Just give me a chance. So she never prescribed it. And I came back home and I said, what is it that's causing this? I cleaned out my closet, my pantry, in fact. There was a lot of food in there, canned stuff, what have you, that I know that was having negative effects on my health. So I threw that out and I started on the breakfast pack. And I just started to feel better. So I continue with my annual screenings, and what also was identified based on my height and weight, I was obese. You really couldn't tell because, you know, I'm short, I'm very solid, but that weight and the BMI chart, it wasn't matching up. So the doctor did additional blood work, and he did it annually. And I just want to report on my last labs, which was done in April of this year. Total cholesterol 110, HDL is 61, triglyceride 80, and LDL is 33. My A1C in December 5.6, and in April 5.7. She has also advised that I see a cardiologist. Reason being, I was experiencing some stresses in my life, anxiety, you know, of course, as a nurse, working through the pandemic for 1 year and losing 2 siblings within a little over 2 years, one at age 50 from cancer and one at age 55 from autoimmune. And I was home in March and I felt an episode of my heart racing, felt palpitations. And I called 911. And when the EMT came and they did their assessment, they said to me, the emergency room is for emergency. We're not taking you. And they didn't take me. They told me to calm down. I didn't realize, you know, the impact of stress, you know, the stress of work and stress of what I was experiencing, you know, with my family situation. So took the advice and I went to the cardiologist. Found out again, the issue was, they found that I had elevated blood pressure. I usually have a blood pressure like the textbook, 120/70. It went over 130s, and then it went to a systolic of 140. And he did an echocardiogram. Says there's no need for a stress test. You're a zero risk for cardiovascular disease, but I just want to slow down your heart rate and get you calm. They told me no caffeine, no tea, nothing to stimulate my heart because of course I'm having all these stresses in life. So what the doctor prescribed is metoprolol, very low dose, 25 milligram, extended release, once every 24 hours. And he says to me, take it at night so I can get a good rest. And what I added was 2 magnesium complex at night. And I would sleep so well and get up feeling more energized, could cope with the stresses of life and to get back to work. I did a 1-month follow-up and the doctor says to me, I don't want to give you any more medication because there's no need for it. Knowing the nurse I am and the fear, I said, can you just give me some for standby? So I'm pretty much telling the doctor what I want. He says, okay, I'll give you 3 months supply. But when I went to the pharmacy, they gave 2 months supply. So the doctor says, the cardiologist said to me, he wants to see me October 6th. Now, my last visit, he said to me, I see you losing weight. I said, yes, because every doctor is telling me the issue is the weight. You know, I could take all these supplements I want, but I have to lose the weight. So I did join the fitness challenge. When all these challenges I was experiencing, I was 216 pounds. I'm now hovering over 194, 195 pounds. And I've started walking more than I used to. I'm sleeping better, and I can certainly feel the difference. Now, when it comes to becoming Emerald Director, I didn't introduce or speak to persons on NeoLife because of profit. I looked at people over profit. Because of the result I got, I said, you know what, there's a solution. Let me talk to people, because the blood work doesn't lie. The way I feel it doesn't lie. I have my family, one of my brother take it, and to the point where he got so well and lost weight from 325 pounds to 277 pounds. They said, is it HIV? I said, well, they can draw the blood for that too, you know? They couldn't believe the transformation. And then persons I shared with began to share their stories with me too, that they're feeling better and their labs are improving. So I said to Barbara, I'm going to leadership school. And she laughed. She said, even if you get in there with an Uber, you're getting there. So the confidence, in me, that me sharing, and I'm forever grateful for those who got me on board and those who have joined the wellness platform and is using the product. There is hope, there is consistency, and I came up with my own treatment plan. That nurse cap is still on me. I schedule my vitamins as I look at how patients' prescription med is scheduled. So I have a pattern, you know? And what I believe, which I do know, is that my body has adjusted. There is no reason for me to go back where I was. It doesn't make any sense. You know, my primary doctor says to me, I only need to see you if there's an acute change in your condition. Otherwise, once a year screening. So to God be the glory. You know, I want to be thankful to everyone and the support that I continue to receive. I need it. We cannot do this alone. I need it. I walk in the park because I meet friends, you know, and I get that positive energy to move my body. And I continue to change the way I'm eating. I keep hearing the word plant-based, plant-based. I'm adding more vegetables, not so much fruits, but adding more vegetables to my diet. And you definitely feel different. I'm also on Bob at night now. I'm using the fiber. Elimination is key, and water. I have a lot of add-ons. So I want to say thank you, and thank you to everyone. And thanks to Almighty God for bringing me this far and giving me the courage to speak to others, to share. People over profit. Thank you.
Thank you, Allison. And we thank Almighty God as well for bringing you into our team, for the people that you're helping, for providing a company like we have, the products that definitely change people's lives and an opportunity that changes lives too. So we commend you. 3 consecutive months, 4,000 is tremendous achievement. We give you a big hand. And I acknowledge your strength in bringing people in to presentations. You're very, very, very good at that, and at continuing to invite people. And I congratulate you on your first step, the first hurdle to getting to leadership school, which I know you're going to have so much fun there. Barbara had a blast. Jean McEwen had a blast. Daniel had a blast. Wayne and Leslie and I had a blast. It's just more fun than you can imagine. You have 3 days with, John and Debbie also. You're going to have 3 days with Josh and Kendra and Jerry and possibly a scientific advisory board member.
That's what I want.
Yes, tons of free product they give you. The food is fabulous. The setting is fabulous. And Jamie and Carol Wilson are scheduled, I believe, for September, I think is when they're going. So we really congratulate you on this big step. Emerald Director, that's fantastic, Allison. And thank you for your diligence and your focus on helping other people. So,
and Bob, if I may add one or two, for most of the persons who I signed up as a promoter. One, the benefit is that you're going to get the products 25% off. And I want them to have the same experience that I have, if they so desire, is to share with others, because there's hope. There's hope where this body, can heal. So
Right,
I
right.
thank.
Okay, good. Thank you so much, Allison. Now I have two stories left and an admonishment, and then we're going to read some top achievers in our team. The two stories I'm going to tell you, I will be sending you an email attachment, hopefully within about 2 or 3 hours, of an event that is coming in October that I hope you'll all come to. I'm hoping we can have 20 to 30 of our team at this event. It's the last 3 days of October in Hume Lake. And I'm going to tell you, events are the most important building tool in our company, and they are the key to advancing in your NeoLife career, which as you advance, you'll impact way more lives. And events are one of the primary keys. Marina told us about the event that she loved. So did Ginny, and so did Joanne. And these events are critical. So two stories I'm going to tell you about this event that's coming into October at Hume Lake. There's this guy in NeoLife named Charlie Bolton. He is a legend because of the 50 countries we're in. He is the biggest distributor in the NeoLife world. I believe he probably sells around 100 million a year, because many years ago, they said he was at 77 million. That was a long time ago. And with COVID, most of the businesses have grown substantially. Now, a bit about Charlie Bolton. We all know Josh Clark is on staff with NeoLife. He's a vice president. Well, Charlie Bolton was on staff with NeoLife Africa, and Jerry Brassfield, who owns the company, fired Charlie because he said he had no potential. Charlie is now the biggest NeoLife distributor in the NeoLife world. Again, like I think he's been making I've heard, just staggering amount of income, just staggering. And he's about 5'8". I've been around him several times. Very soft-spoken guy, but Jerry fired him because he said he had no. Jerry told me himself. I didn't hear this. Jerry told me himself that he thought Charlie had no potential. So I heard Charlie say that he almost quit NeoLife to go get a job many times, because when Jerry fired him, Charlie had 4 kids at home. They're all grown and gone now, but he had 4 kids at home, and he could barely put food on the table because he had a hard time learning how to do the business. And obviously now he knows how to do the business, because about 50% of the 5 diamonds in the whole company are in Charlie's team. And about 50% of the 1 diamonds in the company are in Charlie's team. So, I mean, this guy is smart, and he is coming to this event the end of October. So you gotta be there. So I guess that's the main thing I want to say about Charlie, is that he almost quit. I heard him say on a CD I got from Louis, he said he almost quit and went and got a job. And imagine if he had gone and worked as an employee in a store for somebody else, this never would have happened. Louis probably wouldn't be here. And Louis's life was literally saved from terminal cancer. And Charlie taught him to juice. Charlie bought him a juicer and a huge amount of produce, and said, Louis, you got no excuse now. You got to do this, because Louis was terminal. Okay, so that's one story that has relevance to this end of the October event that I want you all to come to. Now, the second story is Louis Smith's story himself. And Louis joined our business, and after, I don't know, a month or two, he was ready to quit. He said, this business does not work, and I want my money back. And his sponsor wisely said, tough luck. You ain't getting 1 penny back, not 1 cent. And Louis said, well, then who's going to get the hotel room? I paid 2 nights for this event. And his sponsor said, I'm going to give it to somebody else. Louis said, no one else is going to sleep in a room I paid for in my bed. And he said, what's going to happen to all those meals I paid for this 2-day event? And his sponsor said, I'm going to give it to somebody else. Louis said, no one's eating my food. So Louis said he went just out of spite, because his sponsor, Andy, would not give him the money back. And Louis didn't want anybody else using his registration. So Louis went to that event saying that this business doesn't work. And he came out of there like a rocket ship. And today, Louis sells over $250,000 of NeoLife per month, not per year, per month. And this is the guy that was ready to quit before the event and was saying that this business does not work. Cracks me up. This makes me laugh. But what happened to Louis? He said when he was there, he saw, just like Joanne said, and Jenny and Marina said, he saw, man, these are a lot of nice people here. And he heard the president of NeoLife Africa saying, look, you guys, this is built on credibility and honesty, and we treat people right. And Louis was just very impressed with the ethics, the standards, biblical standards. I mean, he was blown away. And so Louis will tell you, I was in a conference with Louis, as was all of our Grants Pass team and Barbara, right before convention. And he was just blunt and direct. He said, if you guys do not come to an event and bring people with you, you will not grow. He was just direct. You will not rank advance. It's not going to happen unless you bring people with you. He said, the next year till the next event, you're not going to have growth. He said, I don't care if you do 20 presentations per week, you're not going to rank advance. Rank advance is like you get another director. So then you become world team and you start getting $600 a month car allowances, $600 bonuses, leadership development bonuses. You get invited to really fun trips. I mean, so much fun, to Cabo, to Cancun, to Hawaii, to cruises. All that happens. And he said, none of that will happen outside of bringing people to this event. So Louis been in the business about, I think I heard him say about 25 or 29 years. And he's from the biggest team. He's in Charlie Bolton's team. So if Louis says you're not going to rank advance unless you bring people with you, I think we can take that very authoritatively. He knows what he's talking about. So I will be sending that flyer with the announcement. I'm going to be really bold. I'm going to send it within probably 3 to 4 hours. You're going to have that. I need Marina to help me change one thing on it, but she said she'd help me with a few things after this meeting. And I'm just going to be really bold right here. I tell you, it's going to cost me a fortune. I hope it costs me $3,000, but I'm going to give you $100 for every person you bring with you. So if you show up with 4 guests, you're going to get $400. If you show up with 8 guests, it's going to kill me. And it's going to cost me $800. But I don't mind investing in our team, because you talk to Louis, you talk to Jerry Brassfield, you talk to Josh, you talk to Alan Blaine, all the top leaders say events are critical. And I know they all invest in their team, because I know Louis sometimes will, sometimes he'll give him his car. He said, take 7 people with you, because he has 2 cars. And he said, pack it with people in his team to help him get there. And sometimes he'll buy them, sometimes he will buy them their lodging. You know, I know all these guys. Josh invests in his team. Alan does. They all do. So I'll just be that bold. Every person you bring with you, I might have to get some loans, but I can give $100 to you for every person, because I just know the value. And Charlie Bolton is going to be at this event. Louis told us, you know, there could be some problems because of COVID or whatever, but I said, Louis, is Charlie really coming? And Louis said, he told me with his own mouth that he's coming. So you guys, this is a rare opportunity, because Charlie doesn't come here real often. And if he does come here in the past, it's been for certain teams only, but Louis is opening this up to all of us. So you guys, I'm just telling you, you got to be there. And I will send this to you hopefully within 3 hours from now, because we have another meeting that starts at 11, which will be on immunity. And please write this down. The number for the meeting that starts in about 20 minutes is 963-644-1807. And the password is ATP. And it's all going to be on immunity, elevating immunity. So we'll be covering about 6 products at that training. So now we're going to switch to this, and I should actually tell you the next meeting, we're going to have an amazing Parkinson's story video, just incredible, that I got actually at Louis' event is where I got it. It came out crystal clear as a bell. And it is a powerhouse testimony. So that'll be at our next BOC. Now, closing with this, I have a lot of names on here. I think I'm going to skip a lot of them for time reason because they're not on the call. But Jeanette Bailey had 350 points last month. These are all people we're profoundly grateful to for the contribution they make to better health for people, to ending the trend. Jenny Knowles had 615. Joanne Washington, brand new senior manager, 1,041. Ariel Helwig, 1,198 points. Cindy Swan, 1,284 points. Cecile Joseph, 1,529. Nancy Reese, 1,529 points. Robin Sandy Reynolds, 1,723. Jolene Cox, 2,020. Brent and Ramona Chichester, 2,100. Jean McEwen, 2,650. Then Allison Wilson is in our top 10, brand new Emerald Director. Allison Wilson, 4,070 points. Mark Ritchie, 4,145 points. Marilee Blomberg, 5,878. Jamie and Carol Wilson, 6,235. Gina Ellis, 6,409. Then in our top 5 for personal volume, and then we'll go to team volume after that. John and Debbie leading the Grants Pass group, 6,762. Number 4, Leslie Hansen, 6,769. Number 3 position, Barbara Chichester, 8,207. In number 2 for personal volume is Stephanie Beckett with 11,565. And number 1, you'll never guess. You'll never guess who it is. It's our host, Mr. Daniel Hansen, number 1 position. Very high producing young man, very excellent businessman, very smart. 16,466 points in personal volume. Daniel's number 1 for personal volume. And we're very grateful to him for all he contributes. Then for team volume now, in number 5 position is Barbara Chichester with 12,277 points. In number 4 is John Chambers, Debbie Muzak, 12,997 points. Number 3, Victor Pearson, 25,888 points. Number 2, Leslie Hansen, 29,644 points. And then in number 1, Marilee Blomberg, 59,364 points. We are so grateful for all those people. They're just making a huge difference for many, many lives. And we thank you so much, each one of you. And feel free to invite people that we're going to be starting in just a little less than 20 minutes. We'll have 1 hour of in-depth product training, health and nutrition training. And wish you guys a wonderful afternoon, and hopefully see you all in about 18 minutes at the other number, 963-644-1807, password ATP. God bless you guys, and thanks for your participation. We're so fortunate and blessed to have each of you. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Bob.
Thank you. See you in 20 minutes.
Okay, thanks, Allison.
Thank you.
Thanks, everybody.
Thanks, Bob.
Thanks, Les. Good to see you there.
Thanks.
See you soon. Bye-bye.